Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. This is a new venture from me, Robert Shenkman, and I'm here with Ben Taylor-Matthews, world number 4, British number 1. But enough about him. This is our podcast, View from the Hazards. Ben, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Robert.
There we go. So, have you got something for me?
I've got a joke. I've got a hazard joke for you.
Oh, well, it's not like we've prepared this whatsoever. Just like to emphasise, this is going to be completely unscripted, unedited, as sort of candid as you'd like. But yeah, this joke was pre-prepared. But anyway, Ben, I won't steal your thunder anymore.
Okay, right, Schenkers, how do you handle hazardous materials?
I have absolutely no idea. But yeah, I can think of a few ideas. I mean, yeah, how?
As best as you can.
I actually didn't know how that was going to go, but that's actually quite funny.
A lot to live up to next time.
I know, yeah. So we'll do a joke at the start of every single podcast. Hopefully there's more than one. Okay, so we'll kick it off, I guess, before we start the real tennis chat. Ben, what have you been up to? What have we been up to?
Exactly, what have we been up to? Currently sat in Melbourne. About 4:30. Practice day 1 today, kicking off at 7, and we are sat in the sun watching Dominic Thiem make hard work of his Aussie Open match.
That's actually correct, yeah. We are in Melbourne. Probably the one and only time this podcast happens in the Southern Hemisphere, but there we go.
Taking it on location early doors.
Exactly, yeah. It's going to go around the world, this podcast. But yeah, I'm enjoying Melbourne, never been here before. Ben, a seasoned campaigner, and yeah, just chilling out before practice, I guess.
Well, let me ask you what you think about Melbourne, because I've been many times, so I know what to expect.
Yeah, you actually have.
What are you finding? What's Melbourne like for you?
Just some of the friendliest people on earth, to be honest. I feel like that's one thing that struck me getting here. People in Australia, honestly, just love it. Like, they're so friendly, keen to chat. You go to a coffee shop, you ask people for directions, they're just there, they're on hand.
Summer, everyone's happy.
Yeah, literally. Well, everyone's happy when it's sunny, isn't it? It sort of changes your mood, I guess.
Are you impressed with the weather?
Absolutely not. I mean,
It's not been the best, is it?
The temperature's still decent, but I can't believe how much rain there is. It literally rained. I thought, obviously, you come to Australia and it's like these bushfires, and you're thinking, oh my god, going outside, it's going to be like smoking 26. But actually, I mean, the air quality's been fine. There's been almost too much rain, but luckily it's sunny right now.
I think it's stopped now. I think that's it. I think it's going to be sun from here on in.
Well, it's good. Suits us just fine here for another 7 or 8 days. And yeah, as Ben said, practice later on. Been to the club pretty much every day. Not too much though. Can't get caught up in it, can you?
How's the gym?
Yeah, exactly. Well, gym's been good. Thank God Melbourne's got a gym. I think if it was at Ballarat, I'd probably have to join a local one. But yeah, been in the gym a fair bit. Ben, not quite up to my regime. Has been doing his stretching. Yeah, maybe one day you'll bench. We'll see. But yeah,
Doubtful.
I mean, that's what we've been up to, and here for the next 8 days. But
are you looking forward to getting out on court?
Oh my god, I'm desperate.
You've not hit a ball yet.
I'm literally
hit Ballarat, didn't you?
Yeah, we hit Ballarat. Hit Ballarat on the first day. Just literally got straight off the plane, hired a car, back straight to Ballarat.
Straight over there. That was fun.
I mean, real tennis takes you in weird and wonderful places, but absolutely desperate to have it, if I'm honest.
We've had the misfortune of watching a bit of the Boomerang. What characteristics have you seen in the court?
Melbourne, yeah, having never been here.
What do you think?
It's quick for sure. That ball's flying around. It's probably pretty much like batting at the MCG. That ball is coming at you for sure. Yeah, so I'm hoping for a bit of pinball this evening. We'll see. I'll have a charge around.
Floor's very quick. Got to work pretty hard.
Yeah.
Severe.
Not really sure about the targets, to be fair. I'm sure the ball disappears into those every now and again.
Let's hope so.
Depending on who's playing. But yeah, just been watching the Boomerang and desperate to get on court tonight. Should be a good run around. But there we go. But enough about our little trip. We're here to talk real tennis. That's why we're here. That's why hopefully people are going to listen. So thinking of a format for the podcast, going to sort of review maybe past tournaments and preview tournaments coming up. So we're extremely fortunate in that the Australian Open has just happened and the US Open is going to happen in the next few weeks, and the draw came out yesterday. So should we start off with the Aussie Open? Chris Chapman, his second major title, but a lot more happened than just that, Ben, isn't that right?
I think the the Australian Open this year was all about a certain Kieran Booth, wasn't it?
I'd agree with that completely. Yeah.
Obviously, great for Chappers to win his second Open singles, but you can't gloss over KB's achievements that week.
No, for sure.
Amazing.
Genuinely, yeah. Following from England, fantastic win in the quarterfinal against Nick, 5-5-5.
I know he got a walk. He was due to play Mike Williams, wasn't he, in the first round? But I believe
that was a walkover. Yeah.
Yeah, was injured. So
that could have been a tough first round game for sure.
So KB had 2 matches to get through to the final.
That's right. Yeah.
And
that's right.
am I right in thinking? I know obviously he beat Nick, who was seeded. Was Matthew Sarlong seeded as well?
He was. I think he was like 3rd seed, 4th seed.
So I think
something like that.
He's taken down 2 seeds to get through to the final. That's an amazing tournament. And actually, if there's one person that deserves it in real tennis for the amount of effort that he puts in and money that he throws around to travel around, is Kieran Booth.
For sure.
So happy for him to do
that. And hopefully this is not the last we'll see of KB on English shores. But I mean, if it isn't, who knows? But still, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with on that Melbourne court whenever there's an Open there. And
he's currently 2nd in the World Championship race.
I saw that, yeah, I tell you what. Yeah, I know. Literally, the points have been wiped off. Like, you've got these guys in the first round on 307 points. We'll see how much longer they're on there for. But, yeah, I know, he's 2nd in the World Championship race. KB, get yourself to the US. Late entry.
I can confirm that Matthew was seeded. So, yeah, KB took down 2 seeds on his way through. And didn't drop a set as well. That's insane.
That's premium. Yeah, genuinely. In a best of 5, you're always going to drop a few, but... No, a quality tournament, and still got a set in the final against Chappers.
Got a set in the final against Chappers, so that explains the top half of the draw.
Yeah, what have we got in the bottom half?
We had, seed-wise, in the bottom, we had Darren Long, John Lumley and Chris Chapman.
Nice.
Who were our 3 seeds for the bottom half. And it did follow seeding.
Yeah, it did. Daz, what was the score against Lummers with Daz?
Took the first set.
Daz, of course he did, yeah.
Lost 3-1, but won the first 6-2, and then I believe, I'm sure he'll be able to confirm this. He won't want me to read out his text, but I'm pretty sure he felt like he could have pinched the third, and then the fourth looks like a bit of a crash and burn situation, unfortunately.
Exactly. Those VBs were calling, I think, in the fourth.
Stage left.
No, they weren't. Darren, come on, you wanted the fourth, but yeah, the less it's said about the fourth, the better. But yeah, went to seed. Lummers against Chappers in the semi. Was that 3-love?
No, 4 sets again.
4 sets.
Split the first 2, and then 6-4, 2-6, 6-3, 6-1 to Chappers. So
yeah, that's a good result. Especially he overturned the result. Was it the Governor's Cup? Is that what was in Tasmania? Because obviously Lumley won that in 5.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, he won it in 5. I mean, I personally. Fair play to Chappers for winning. I thought Lumley had that one. Obviously coming in with a win off the back of a win in Hobart. But I mean, yeah, whatever. That
was 6-4 in the 5th, wasn't it? That one.
Yeah, exactly. It's great to have the competition.
Did you? I have to confess, I didn't actually watch any of the final or anything.
I've not watched any of it. I think the streaming sort of like cut out or something. I think there were some streaming issues. It might well be on YouTube now, but I think it's in 2 parts. Right. I watched a lot more of the semi than I did the final, but yeah, in 4 sets. I know there was a 6-5 in there.
Yeah, I did. I think that is I got into work and watched the. I think I watched the tail end of that set because obviously it was on like pretty early.
Yeah.
English time. So I think I got into work and then realised, remembered that it was on, so flicked it on. And I could see that Chappers was 2 sets to love up, and the third was looking a bit tight, so I had it on in the background and watched. KB pinched that one.
No, there we go. So, and then in the doubles as well. Till one thing which I keep hearing from being here, talking to guys playing the Boomerang, was just the doubles final was awesome. A win in 5 for Nicky and who was it? Nicky
Chappers.
And Chappers, yeah, against.
Yeah. So Chappers did a double
against Brett Richardson, who I haven't met, and KB.
Bloke.
Yeah,
Brett is such a nice guy. Really nice guy.
Apparently,
actually, I think he lives in Tassie now. So
really?
It's a shame he's gone straight back, but
apparently an absolute demon at the net.
Yeah, he's pretty good up there.
A demon.
He's pretty good. I think he's got you covered up there.
Oh my god, I'm not getting much past him, to be fair.
Not many people are getting much past him. It's ridiculous.
I know people were just saying it was the best doubles they'd ever watched. I mean, clearly not watched enough, but I'm sure it was a great game. Don't know how big the sample pool is, but yeah, exactly. So, and Chappers carried off the Australia Open doubles and singles.
Well, 6-4 in the 5th. regardless, and I'm sure, obviously with the 4 guys that are on court there, I'm sure that is going to be a high quality match. But 6-4 in the 5th is going to be like
That's awesome. Yeah,
it's going
that's
to be good
awesome.
for the people watching anyway. And it was kind of 1-1, 1-1, 2-1. So it was
that's class.
nip and tuck all the way. So that from a spectator perspective, I'm sure the tennis was great, guys. Don't worry. Didn't watch any of it, but I'm sure it was great. The crowd are going to love that. So
Yeah,
apparently it was
definitely.
like 4 hours or something ridiculous.
Yeah,
That's going to be a late finish.
Exactly. 2 a.m. like the Australian Open.
Yeah.
Start 'em late.
Cheppers had been in that morning marking Boomerang straight after a singles win as well. Poor
Yeah,
bastard.
what better way to clue in? Switch on. I mean, doubles tactics. You
That's
can't
true.
get enough of it. You can't get enough of it.
Yeah, watching a few of the guys hack it around the morning after, you must be thinking, what on earth am I doing here?
Literally can't move in his chair. It's like, he can't even move to touch the iPad. Right, well, that was the Australian Open. And yeah, that is all done and dusted. But yesterday, Mr. Ryan Carey very kindly uploaded the US Open draws onto Facebook on the USCTA page if you want to have a look at them yourselves.
And on
yeah.
the IRTPA website.
Yeah, IRTPA website. I
course.
wonder who put those on.
Well, you've got to plug it.
Yeah, exactly. At least you help out, do your bit for the game. But yeah, we're in Chicago. That is where the US Open is. I will not be there. Ben, you're heading out there about 6 days after getting back from England, back to England. Sorry,
Less.
even less.
Yeah, get back on like the Friday
Nice.
night, and then take off like 8 a.m. Tuesday morning or something.
Oh, fantastic!
It's going to be a pretty good temperature change. It's going to be like 30. Well, I think. Well, here we go. Let's have a look. I'm pretty sure that it gets over 30. Yeah. So when we leave next Friday, it's 33 degrees, and then
Naughty.
and then yeah, it's like minus. Oh, it's actually warmed up a bit. It's about -4 in Chicago at the moment, but it did get down to about -15. So
yeah, well, thank God they've got some central heating on that court. But yeah, what a great club! What a great club.
You did a fellowship out there, didn't you?
Yeah, 3 months. 3 months. Actually, the last time the Open was in Chicago, the first time it has been there in
Did you enjoy it?
2016. Yeah, absolutely. Very fond memories of that club.
Probably fond memories of the US Open as well.
Oh my!
Adrian Kemp.
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to plug myself too much, but that match started at 5 o'clock, finished just after 8. A win in 5 against a 6 handicapped Adrian Kemp. A special moment for me. But
You must have been absolutely broken after that.
yeah, tell you what, it's weird actually because I don't know if Lomas is listening. I remember going to the cinema to watch Deadpool with him and Robbie Whitehouse. And we all went to the cinema. Leon was there maybe. I remember, so obviously just played a best of 5. Literally sat in a chair in the cinema for 2 hours. Was not as clued up on like sort of sports medicine, how to recover as I am now maybe. And yeah, the next day, oh my word, I was suffering. And to this day, I don't think I've been on court for that long. But yeah.
What's your recovery strategy now? Next morning, wake up and do a bit of benching.
No, oh my God. I think my recovery, you just got to eat. You just got to eat, I think. Very basic.
Got to eat.
Yeah, you've got to refuel and sleep, I think. And
Any,
I think that's work the next day.
Because obviously I've been to Chicago once.
Yeah.
For that Open as well.
Literally.
I could not tell you for the life of me what happened to me. I think I lost to Steve actually.
You lost to Steve like 6-4, 6-4, 6-5
Yeah,
or something,
like
or 4-5-4. I remember watching that actually.
3 fairly tight ones.
Yeah, no.
But obviously I was there to compete. You were there for 3 months. Any interesting stories? Any funny stories? It's a great club.
About the club or
anything that happened while you were in Chicago?
not a great deal to me. I was fairly square. Couldn't even drink in the US legally back then. But I think it's just a great club, honestly. I mean, anyone who's been there, you walk in immediately, you got the red carpet.
You got the pool off to the left, haven't you?
Yeah.
And like a check-in coat area off to the right.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. You just go straight up the stairs.
Yeah.
Pro shop's awesome. You
Dining
walk.
room on the left because they do like the Thursday night.
There's like 2 dining rooms, so you've got quite an intimate one, which is actually men only. You can't have women in there.
Where's that?
So that's just if you go through from the changing room, through past the billiard room.
Yes.
And then there's like it's called what's it called? It's called the Grill. It's actually called the Grill. Ironically, it has no relevance to the aforementioned Target, but yeah, it's like quite an intimate dining room. Definitely try it. Just pop your head in the door when you go. It's pretty cool actually. Pretty cool room.
Yeah, they
Some good paintings.
The thing is on Thursday. I'm really struggling to think of the word, but they do the like buffet, don't they? Like Thursday night buffet. That's massive.
That's it.
That's massive.
A good dining room as well. And great. You just walk past the tennis courts. You've got the rackets court on the right. and quite a nice sort of little bar area where
It's
you can
quite
watch.
fiddly to get round, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
quite, like,
annoying.
the
Like
staircase
lots
is,
of
like,
stairs, narrow stairs.
easy to get lost. Well, I mean, I was
within
only
reason.
like first time, obviously, but once you get up to the top,
Yeah.
what a setup! With, like
It's
the bar in
unbelievable.
behind the dead on, the rackets courts there, and the pro shop, and like that top floor. Because is the gym on that floor, or is it like half a
So
floor
the
down?
gym, I reckon it'd be like half a floor down
Like
from
a
the tennis
mezzanine
court.
level or something.
Pretty close though. A nice gym actually.
But once you get up to that top floor, what a place!
Yeah, no, it's
With,
quality.
like all the sports like completely open plan, and the members there are great as well.
Yeah. Oh, the noise. You remember you weren't. No, Chappers marked the singles last time we were there, but you'd have been around. Stevie Cam. Do you remember the noise? Do you remember the atmosphere?
I actually
You might not have been there.
No, I had Sally there, so
Yeah,
we
yeah,
were just not there because we were like.
That's
we
fair.
were on
Well, I can tell you, to be fair, the noise was outrageous. I don't think.
five, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Steve was 4-1 up in the fifth. Sorry, Steve. But it was an unbelievable match. That's probably one of the best matches I've ever watched, start to finish. And yeah, literally, I just remember the noise. Like, obviously, you've got a lot of Chicago members of the court, and it got built in 2012. So it's been there 4 years at this point. Again, a lot of these guys haven't watched that level of tennis, and it was just mental. It was honestly like the noise wherever Steve would have point. Like I remember Cam like sort of speaking to Chappers who was marking, like sort of controlling the crowd a little bit. Obviously, he's not that worried, but
That doesn't sound like Cam.
just a bit of gamesmanship, isn't it? Like, I doubt he was worried about the noise. It's just all about sort of getting a bit of momentum. But honestly, it was nuts. I mean, when you're playing with Steve in the doubles, that's going to be serious. Especially Americans love doubles. It's one of the things I find.
Yes.
Team game.
Let's have a look at the draw, shall we?
Absolutely, yeah.
Anything interesting going on there? Well, it's a bit strange because they didn't get 16. Well, there weren't 16 entries, were there? So the top 3 seeds, Camden, myself, and Nick Howe,
Yeah,
have been given buys.
that's right.
So that means there are two matches in the first round that don't contain seeds. What do we have a look at those?
Yeah, actually, these are two absolute crackers. I'll be watching these. So we've got Josh Smith. I can't remember what his nickname is. He's given himself one.
He's got plenty.
He's got loads of nicknames.
Yeah, he's got plenty.
Surfer Josh Smith. Sorry, that's my nickname for you. And Darren.
What's he called on? Like, isn't he called something on RTO like G Bob or?
Oh no, he is. Yeah,
come on, tell us.
It's like Team OK or something. I don't really get that.
I don't know what it is. Team OK, that's right.
I don't get it. I think he's called Team OK, but against Darren Long.
Josh, we want to know what your nicknames are and why.
Yeah, tell you what, you're going to enjoy this podcast. We'll get you in. But yeah, that is going to be a good game. Tell you what, Josh, coming off a good National League win against Peter Wright at Wellington. So man in form, actually, man in form.
Have Darren and Josh played before in the last couple of years?
Yeah, you were there.
I was just checking that you.
I know. I remember I was in Spain at the time, but yeah, I remember seeing the score. Yeah, Darren and Josh. The last time they played, Dazza carrying a little bit of an injury, but Josh took him out in 3 sets. And I'm going to say that's the only time they've ever played. So Josh has got a 100% record over Darren.
That was national. Yeah, I absolutely don't want to belittle Josh's win there at all. But I don't think Darren was quite 100%. But
win's a win.
No, absolutely. Like,
he carried off the 1.2.
Well, exactly. And Darren still got out there and had a go at it. Like he didn't retire. There we go. It was 6-4 to Darren, and then 1-3 to Josh.
Fair.
In National League.
But best of 5 in Chicago on that court will be pretty interesting.
I don't actually know if. I don't think Darren was at the US Open.
No, he wasn't. He's never been.
So I don't reckon either of those two have played Chicago either.
Josh might have been. No, I'm going to say no. Oh, maybe he has though. C. Freeman. I don't know.
What's your memory of the court there?
Pretty similar to Middlesex, I reckon. Pretty aggressive timbre, quite fast. The timbre that goes behind you.
I remember.
You know what I mean?
The only thing I can really remember about it, like, is something that kind of sticked out for me, was that the sidewalls were like the angles of the sidewalls were really thin, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, it
the
does
ball
slide.
went under winning gallery. It didn't really come back towards the middle at all.
Yeah,
like you had to really like go into the corners to try and dig everything.
One other thing, I think it's actually got small targets, deliberately small targets. So Steve told me when they were building the court, he was like, honestly, make it hard to hit a target. Which obviously is no problem for him whatsoever, but for like the rest of us, like, yeah, I'll go below that grill. I seem to remember the grill's a little bit higher. I could be wrong, but yeah, the targets are slightly smaller, I think.
So the best target hitter in the world, whoever that is,
yeah,
has a distinct advantage over the others.
I reckon so.
I mean, I understand, right? So it promotes.
I think so. It promotes higher quality shots,
like classical, more promotes more rallies and stuff. Same thing as Radley.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Like the amount of wall between the main wall and the deadline is huge.
It's massive.
You have
Yeah,
to
it's
hit
massive.
like basically a post. To
Yeah,
get in.
yeah.
So
Then again, like, there's nothing worse than when you're at a court and literally just everything's going in. You play at Middlesex, you play at Queens.
like Paris.
Yeah, it's just literally balls. You just hit the main wall, and it's like, oh my god, it's another one.
The dead on feels like it's the whole wall behind you.
Yeah,
like
just hit the back wall. Which a guy who's good for that. Like, it's pretty hard to serve there as well. I think. You know, I remember talking to Ed Kay about when he was there for the Bathurst, and he was like, "You literally just can't serve anything."
I can't really remember. Like
High's not bad. High serve's not bad.
blue court.
No, like red
Red.
brownie, like red brick almost. Not brick, but like it's red and red floor, sort of woody penthouse.
Yeah, like Burrows, middle Burrows. Wow, blush on.
No.
Yeah, just like a varnished penthouse, right?
Um,
I'm gonna Google it
yeah,
now.
it's pretty red. It's pretty red. But yeah, just like the tan
Is
was.
there nothing blue about it? Have I just completely made that up?
You have made that up, yeah. Middlesex is pretty blue. If you think
Well,
about
that's extremely blue. Oh, you're absolutely right.
and Hobart.
Yeah, it's the well, okay. The walls are black, right?
Yeah.
Or very close to. And then you've got that.
The
Like,
floor's like red. Oh yeah, the walls are black. You are right. No, but no.
it's not quite terracotta like some of them, but
it is. Yeah, terracotta's a good word to describe it. Actually, like maroon.
maroon.
Yes.
There you go. Anyway, sorry, I went off on a tangent.
No,
There.
to be fair.
Darren against Josh. They played
Once.
at Hampton Court last year. Darren not quite 100%, so we can't necessarily read into it that score.
100%. Darren's played a lot more 5-set games. Is one thing, maybe counting.
We think neither of them have played at Chicago before, so
no,
that's a complete neutraliser. I mean, obviously, those guys, half an hour on the court, and they'll
work it out.
That's irrelevant.
Be a good game. That'll genuinely be a good game. I think hopefully Josh maybe frustrate Daz a little bit if he keeps it tight. Definitely two differing styles.
I mean, to be fair, like Josh has progressed a lot in the last
that's so true.
18 months. I remember having a hit with him about 8 months ago, and he had some pretty glaring stuff. But he takes.
You talking about his hair or his tennis?
No comment.
But no. In all seriousness, it's great. It's good to
he's one of those guys that like asks like a question, gets an opinion, and then goes away and works at it.
Yeah, literally.
Which is great. Some people just, me included when I was younger.
Exactly.
You just I want to get better, but I don't want to do anything about it. He's putting the work in, so fair play to him.
And that's a great game. That's a great match. It's a great first rounder. I mean, you go to US Open, and you could get chopped up against the seed, but
so that's for the right to play Cam.
That's right.
Who do you think is going to be the lucky/unlucky person that gets through to play Cam?
For me, Darren. I no idea about the score, but I think Darren's going to win that game. Just an experienced competitor.
More 5-set matches under his belt.
Oh, absolutely. That actually counts for a lot. It's an underrated thing, in my opinion. More 5-set matches, just winnings at habit, like winning first rounds, whatever. He's done it. Darren for me.
Obviously, I'm playing in a tournament, so you're not going to get a prediction out of me.
Yeah, that's completely fair. I must stress as well, like on this podcast, we are going to make predictions. If you're not happy about it, that's fine. Just fucking prove me wrong. Literally, just go out there and prove me wrong, and then message me, be like, "Yeah, God, I've told you."
So.
But yeah, I'm going to give.
Nothing you would like more than to be proved.
Honestly,
wrong
I mean, how alpha is that? Just literally go out there and just prove me wrong. Like, yeah, I will. Tell you what, I'll be careful next time. But Darren, for me, who knows what's going to happen?
If you win that match, first text needs to go to Robert Shenkman, please.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Right, so we've got Stevie V against Neil as well in the first round, but Steve's obviously seeded, but still decent game.
Yeah, so the three, we're going to ignore the seeds, aren't we? But just to gloss over them, we've got Steve, number 5 seed.
Yeah.
That's going to be the lowest seeding he's
ever had since he was 12.
And again, let's stress that we're not having a crack at Steve there. Like, he's not been competing as much as he had, therefore people have been accumulating points around him.
Still a formidable player.
Well, that's what I mean. Coming in at as a number 5, that's pretty aggressive. Top half.
Yeah, that's loaded. They've loaded the top half.
Top half of the draw. So you've got you've got Steve, and you must have.
Who else in that half? Lummers. It's Lummers, isn't it? It's going to be Lummers and Steve in the quarters. Is it in the quarters? Yeah, it's the quarters.
Lummers and Steve.
Well, if he gets past Neil.
Lummers and Steve, if based on seedings.
Yeah. And
I'm just gonna double check that for you. But
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so we've got Steve as number 5 seed, playing Neil McKenzie. Sorry, no, we're absolutely wrong. We are absolutely wrong. Steve Bagona is playing Tony Hollins
Oh,
from
yeah.
Boston.
Who's Macca got?
Great to
Saw
see
that.
Tony playing as well, because I know he hasn't been competing much outside of the US, but great to see him going into Chicago. We've then got Neil is playing Lummers, also in the top half.
Got you. That
So
makes sense.
the three seeds in the top half are Camden, Steve, and Lummers. And then moving into the bottom half, we've got myself, Nick Howell, and Matthew Sarlong.
That's right.
So the unseeded, luckily for Nick and myself, we've got buys. The unseeded draw, if you like, the unseeded matchup, which is obviously the space in the draw that everyone wants to try and avoid a seed in the first round. Leon Smart and Josh Dodson have been the lucky recipients of that draw.
Job swap, isn't it? Not a full job swap. We'll call it like half job swap.
So has Josh started at New York yet?
I actually have no idea.
I guess so.
I couldn't even tell you.
So. Yeah. So Josh obviously left Tux. Leon is in at Tux.
That's a good game. That's a good game.
What I'm going to try and do now, while we're chatting away,
I'm
going to try and find some kind of historical battles. They must have played each other in National League and stuff quite a lot, actually.
Oh yeah, tell you what, in America there's only about 3 players. It's just like they must play each other every week. I don't know what you compare it to, but yeah.
What are we thinking here? I reckon. So handicap-wise, actually, I'll do a bit of that as well, because that must be. Well, here we go. Wow, the last match that Josh Dodgson has on record is a 6-3, 6-3 loss to Leon Smart.
There we go. Well, it's best of 5, so those first 2 sets don't matter.
Josh is off 5.2. Leon is off 3.2.
Oh my God, better than me.
That's good for Leon.
So
on paper,
Leon.
for all of the club members that may or may not listen to the podcast,
yeah,
it's all about the handicap. So on that basis, Leon, should beat Josh.
Yeah, but
based he's got the club member theory.
He's got the last win. He's got the head-to-head.
So they have played each other 3 times in the last 12 months.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
I've given you the last result, which was 3-3 to Leon.
Yeah.
So what do you think? What do you think? Do you think 3-0 Leon in the head-to-head, 2-1 or 2-1 to Josh?
I reckon Leon 3-0.
Leon 3-0 is absolutely correct. And he also
no disrespect, Josh. Sorry.
He also picked up 3 handicap wins for that.
Did he?
So he beat him in Chicago last year.
National League, isn't it?
4-4.
Wow! Every single time it's close to like 3-3, 4-4.
Yeah, and then against Boston at Boston, April. So that must be National League again.
Yeah, must be final probably.
6-2, 4-6, 6-4.
Say what? That's 3-0, but that's close every time.
That's a belter.
They're in the game. That's 5 sets. Money on 5 sets. What odds are you giving me?
That's going to be a good one. That's going to be a very.
That will be. What time is that? Do you know?
Do we know when?
Because if that's like a 5 o'clock game, I mean that's premium. I do have a feeling it's quite early though.
We have Josh. So the first round matches starts on the 7th.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's absolutely incorrect. It starts on the 6th. So the 2 matches that we're talking about, Josh and Darren and Leon and Josh, are both Friday. Unfortunately for you, Leon Smart versus Josh Dodson is 5 p.m.
5 p.m. US, so that's midnight. Oh, 11.
It'll be 11 p.m. English time.
Set an alarm. I'll watch that. I'll watch a few points. Watch the warm up.
Get some tips.
Yeah, exactly. How to win in straight sets by Leon Smart.
Who's if you could? There you go. This is going to be a bit random.
Go on.
If you could pick one shot that both of those guys have.
Yeah. Oh, I know exactly. What
would you take? What would you steal from both of those?
And I'd steal it from both of them, and it's a double-handed volley because they both got good double-handed volleys. Dodgson is great in front of. I remember his defense with 2 hands is good on the backhand, and Leon's got this sort of like aggressive topspin thing going 2 hands. I'd steal it both of them. There you go. That literally, you couldn't have picked 2 better people to steal a shot.
Because it's got to be the backhand volley for both.
Mate, double-handed, and it's just so much stronger than what I've got on the backhand. Like I'd steal it off both of them. Leon with the aggression, and Dodgson just like with that sort of rock solid defense. Wow, that's quite bizarre actually, but yeah, I'd steal it.
Well, that was an easy question.
Yeah, genuinely. But
it's almost like you had the answer for that.
No, I actually didn't. I've literally just thought, what do they both? I was like, oh my god, yeah. Whenever I've watched Josh play.
All right, what would you on that basis then?
Go on.
What would you take from Darren, and what would you take from Josh? You can just steal it.
Daz, I would take. He hits that grill when it's. You just give him a ball in the forehand corner off the back wall. It could be full toss on the back wall, bouncing. It just nails the grill.
What I love about watching Darren's grill hitting, and he hits a hell of a lot.
Just goes in.
Is how he just plays like this caveman-esque style where he literally plays like real tennis. Chapter 1.
Chapter 1 back in the day.
As in, this is believe it or not, this is actually going to be a compliment, not a criticism.
Go on.
At the service end, it's like, right, if I'm not under extreme pressure and I'm just trying to get the ball over the net, I'm just going to try and hit the grill. So literally grills forehands, grills backhands, and he just gets so many in.
No, generally it just goes in, like with Daz. I probably should have said that the backhand roll. I mean, I don't know how he gets those in, but the forehand just looks like clinical, like bang. You give
his
him that
grill
ball.
Hitting is like.
It
makes me laugh practicing with him because he just tries to hit the grill like with every single ball, and like it's amazing how many go in. Like
it's actually bizarre. It's not even bizarre. It just goes in. It's like a robot.
So you would take Darren's grill hitting.
Yeah.
What would you take off Josh?
Tell you what, he never misses the second gallery.
Nor do you.
No, but like he's just more. I think he hits it quicker than me. I can't think. That's again. I'm going to say with the first thing that comes into my head, but him just doesn't miss that second bang. I was watching him National League against Righty, and it was just bang, clinical, in.
That's what he's trying to do. So you think it's a bit different for you and for me because when I watch Josh, the thing I love about it the most is like how into it he is. And
so you take that. How
much he loves it, but obviously you don't need.
I don't need to take that from him.
You don't need to take that.
Like literally, me and Josh are definitely cut from the same cloth in that respect. Like you won't find two people who love it more in those matches. But no, honestly, there's nothing better than just launching a second gallery and then trying to defend it. I mean, it's not really. It's not launching. The key is not the second gallery; it's defending it.
Can you defend it?
Yeah, can you defend it?
With your bobble, arguably not.
No, with any of my serves, you can't. So there's our first rounds, but tell you what, mate, we've been going 32 minutes here.
Have we?
Yeah, time flies when you're talking passionately about something you enjoy.
All right. Well,
Said no one ever.
Keep boring people for too much longer.
Oh, as if. But no, so you're obviously second seed. I don't really want to talk about you, but this is a good chance to accumulate some points. Second ranking tournament of the what's it called? The cycle.
The race. I've got to get myself on the board. Well, luckily, being seeded through to the quarters means I'm guaranteed a certain number of points.
Guaranteed some points, some coin.
Turn up and have a shocker and still be in
the quarters
in the race. So that's good news.
Yeah.
That's actually probably should be said as well. That is like a few days after the first two rounds of the eliminators.
Yeah,
so
that's
obviously,
right.
like when we all go to Chicago, obviously Chappers isn't going unfortunately, but when we all get to Chicago, we're going to know who the two people are in the final eliminator.
That's quite cool, actually.
Which actually starts like about 10 days after the US Open finishes or something. Pretty much bang on 10 days, I think. So I wonder, you're going to have those two guys kind of going at it hammer and tongs.
It genuinely could happen. It could happen. Well, 3 out of the 4 are there, literally out of the tournament.
Yeah.
No Chappers, obviously, but
because like what has happened in the past sometimes is you've had some results that you wouldn't necessarily bank on around eliminator time.
That's right. Actually,
I remember Camden, Steve was used to play each other in a final eliminator, and they were seeded 1 and 2 for the US Open. And both lost their semi-finals. Camden to Stout and Steve to Bryn.
2010, right?
Yes, because you ended up having the number 5 and like the world number 5 and the world number 9 in an open final.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind, like 7 of the top 10 were in the tournament.
I still love how Stout won that US Open. That is so cool. I love it.
I remember that tournament well. Won the doubles.
Exactly, you and Stevie V rekindling the partnership 10 years on.
A decade on.
A lot's happened in a decade.
Christ.
A lot has happened in a decade, I'll tell you that for free.
Didn't drop a set. Steve did not drop a set.
Yeah, Steve carried off the trophy.
I mean, I was definitely like the rabbit of the team, so I'm not worried.
But just same again, Steve's caught.
I mean, if he wants to do all the work and give me 50% of the money, absolutely more than happy with that.
Yeah, and a quarter of the trophy.
Well, again,
And a quarter of the champagne.
doesn't matter. The name's still on the board.
Yeah, exactly. No asterisk. No asterisk.
Exactly.
By the way, Steve hit most of the shots. That will be a good tournament, US Open. Hope Ryan is streaming it. Of course, Ryan is streaming the Eliminator here.
A big special mention to Ryan, actually, who is hanging around post Boomerang to stream that. And then he's flying, I believe, straight to Chicago from here to do the next one.
That's actually unbelievable.
What an absolute hero!
It's not like that's a short flight either.
It's not exactly
that's a long
man.
time.
So I think we should dedicate podcast number 1 to the champ, Ryan Carey.
Yeah, literally, I'm going to be watching. I mean, we take streaming for granted, but it's changed the game. You can do a bit of analysis these days. You think Rob Fay and Julian Snow in the 90s would have been analysing? Absolutely not.
Yeah, you have to say as well, like, the streaming that the US stuff is absolutely second to none.
It's definitely not recorded on a toaster.
It's like this podcast.
A voice recorder Microsoft app.
And yeah, I think the clubs in the UK specifically need to seriously up their game on that, because we're getting left behind when it comes to streaming quality.
Agree. I actually think that, to be honest, there's only 2 tournaments in England, really, the RTPA and the British, whereas in America you've obviously got the US Pro. Those are the 2 main ones. Well, mind you,
but the US moves around, doesn't it? So
yeah, it does.
There's a lot more
does.
pressure on them to
Agree.
club to have the software and stuff like that. So I think that's even more incredible.
Like, the streaming at Queen's is obviously good, but it's just annoying. It is so high up. Like, it's a different perspective on the game. I'd like it to maybe the cameras be about 6 foot lower, maybe. And fair enough, the grill cam is good at Queen's, but beggars can't be choosers. It is what it is. All the matches are streamed now, which is better than it was in 2010. There we go. 10 years on, these things have changed.
Indeed.
But yeah, we'll see in the next decade. That could be a topic of the next podcast. Some predictions for the next 10 years.
What's going to happen in
there are now 27 courts in the world. Let's say that doesn't happen. But So we will publish this. I reckon probably got through a lot. 37 minutes. Yeah, we've done all right. But this podcast is probably going to be every 2 weeks, maybe a little bit more. Who knows?
As and when stuff comes up.
Yeah, exactly. There's always stuff happening in real tennis. There's always stuff to talk about. So yeah, we'll see where this podcast goes. But
obviously, feel free to message in.
Indeed, yeah, we'll get some audience participation soon.
Suggestions and some criticisms, which no doubt there will be. But
when you listen on your commute to work, or in the pro shop when you're not doing any work, we will see how this one goes. But I think we'll sign off here. Ben?
Yes, mate.
And yeah, we look forward to the next one.
It's been fun.
It has been fun. One take.
One take.
And we will see you all soon.